Popular doctor in daytime television, but Dr. Oz has faced his fair share of criticism. Last month, in fact, 6 fellow Columbia faculty members told USA Today this is their quote: "Many of us are spending a significant amount of our time, our clinical time, debunking Ozisms. This unsubstantiated medical sullies the reputation of Columbia University." But the doctor has faced his critics before, and he is not afraid to do it again. Joining us now is the host of the Dr. Oz Show, Dr. Mehmet Oz, with me now on the curvy couch. So, doctor, let me ask you this. When those professors, those 10 doctors, wrote this letter, you were unafraid to come out and say, this is unsubstantiated. This is what I do on my show. Where do we stand right now with their claims versus your word?
Well, first of all, there were 2 letters written. The first letter was written by 10 individuals, not from my university, who I do believe had an agenda, and I called them out on it on the show because I felt that if I'm going to talk honestly about what's going on in America, I shouldn't have folks lobbing criticisms at me that are unsubstantiated.
Because their ties were to what?
Some had ties to genetically modified organizations supporting groups. They had ties to pesticide groups. Some had worked for the cigarette industry. Others had criminal records. So it was a mixed bag of folks. When they had written a letter to my dean asking me to be dismissed, that's a big accusation.
Sure is.
But I've had other letters, like the one you just quoted from colleagues of mine at Columbia University, who actually said very laudatory things in the letter. But they also said, listen, it's a concern for us because Oz is talking about hardcore medical stuff, but he also talks about unsubstantiated stuff like alternative medicine. He has prayer on his show. And the fact of the matter is, I do toggle back and forth between hardcore medicine, which I do believe we do a very good job getting right. If I'm talking about cancer care, signs of heart disease, we do clinics all around the country. I mean, we do this very well. But there are times that I've always been like this, Elizabeth. I like to look around the corner. What else is out there? What other ideas might be helpful? Because the show is about prevention. It's about wellness. It's not a medical press show. So my job is to take all of America and elevate the conversation. Now, here's the big issue.
Yeah.
How do I make it easier for my viewers to talk to their doctors? That's always been my goal.
It has.
So when doctors call and say, listen, you're making it harder, well, I want to improve that. I want to alter the show and what I do to make it easier for that conversation.
But when they say it's making it harder, is that because you give patients sort of, I think, the confidence to walk in and present some alternate ideas to their physicians? I think that's arming a patient with more freedom to walk in and the confidence to bring up some maybe alternate routes to seek their health. Is that a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing, and the majority of people who've written to me obviously agree with what you're saying. But there's some well-meaning individuals who say, listen, there are things you could do to make it even easier or better, and that's always been my aspirational goal.
Would you doctor your terms differently the next time? Would you not say the word miracle again, because you're going to hear from some people who are going to write a nasty letter about you?
Elizabeth, I wish I'd never used the laudatory terms I used for weight loss supplements. That was the big mistake that I think all of us acknowledge. And I stopped doing that a long time ago, over a year ago. So I never wanted my message to be hijacked by marketers on the web that are stealing my name and likeness and trying to sell you products. I also realized there's a lot of fraud in actually the products themselves. They're selling you fake stuff. And the research behind it was often fraudulent. But I, in general, get it right, and I don't want to be held just at that level. I do many other things, I think, on the show to help people in a positive way, and we get a lot of good feedback for that, and that's always been the mission.
You do, and you know what? That's why you're celebrating and celebrated your 1,000th show. How incredible is that? I mean, you really do give people a great feeling about owning their own health, and now what are we going to see that's coming up?
Well, you know, one of the things I'm proudest of with the show, and we talked about there's a Hugh Jackman who was on the 1,000th show that we just taped, is the fact that we help people lose weight, and we help them do it the right way. Today's show is all about people who've lost half their body weight. I've got Beyonce's weight loss guru on the show Wednesday.
Oh, great.
You know, people have been able to lose a lot of weight because they do the fundamentals right. They eat nutrient-rich foods that are low in calories. They also realize they have to automate their lives. And we've helped millions of people lose millions of pounds of weight and download millions of programs for free off the web. That's how we make an impact.
You sure do. A great impact. I've known you a long time, and your family's incredible. Daphne, by the way, is pregnant again.
Yes.
We're excited for her. So you've got a new grandbaby coming. What's on tap this summer then?
Well, so we had a big celebration yesterday for Mother's Day. So I had 4 first women in their generation: my mother-in-law, my wife, obviously my daughter Daphne and Philomena. And what I love about this, and that image, you know, of course, is very popular because it's Mother's Day. But the best thing of all is you realize the power of family, and especially when I was getting criticized by a lot of folks, having all of them cobble around and say, "Dad, we love you, we trust you. You know, keep your head held high and keep focused on what you know is right doing." It meant the world to me.
Those are the faces that count and the opinions that matter most. But your fans have stood behind you, and those out there watching you for your 1,000th show congratulate you, Dr. Oz. Thanks for being so candid with us here on the Curvy Couch at Fox &
Thank you for all the support that you guys have given to keep the conversation going.
Well, you're a good man.